Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I am Lindsay, and today I am joined by the team over at Kroma.ai. This is a platform that offers the templates and creative assets you need to pitch, present, and persuade like a pro. It is on AppSumo right now, starting at $59 for a lifetime deal, and people are currently raving about it. It's got a 5 taco rating, so kudos to y'all. Before we dive into the walkthrough, I just want to tell y'all a few quick things. The first is if you want to tell us a little bit about your use case, a little bit about yourself, if you just want to say hi to us, you could do that over in the chat room. If you have any questions, though, about the tool, the deal, how to get set up, go ahead and leave your questions in the Q&A box down below this video. As always, we'll circle back to them after the walkthrough. And of course, there will be a replay of this available. So if you need to step out or if you want to watch it again later, you totally can. All right, that's enough of me. Hey, Stephen, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you very much for inviting us here today.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. We like having you on AppSumo, so welcome. I'll pass this over to you to do a little walkthrough, and then let me know when you're ready to take Sumoling's questions.
Great. I think what we will do here this afternoon is just do a quick overview. I won't spend a lot of time driving the conversation. I'd like to let the attendees ask their questions, and so I'll take a few minutes here to do that. And my colleague, Laura Lynn, has just joined us as well. So we may defer some questions to her. But if you're ready, with no further ado, what I will do is share my screen and we'll do a quick walkthrough.
Go for it. Have fun. And yeah, Sumolings, drop your questions.
Absolutely. This is your all's time. So I'm assuming you all can see my screen. Lindsay, if there are any technical issues, you'll let me know. So as you all probably know, since you're on this call, Kroma is a company really focused on presentations and helping you become a better presenter. And we bring really a series of assets to the table to help you do that. And those assets are in what I would say really 3 main categories. The first is our presentation templates. And in our presentation templates, we have expert decks and we have data-driven slides, and I can delve in that as we go in. I'm assuming that's where some of the questions will be. Then we also have a pretty extensive photo library. We've got about 1 million images in our photo library, and you're licensed to use those images freely in any of the presentations. And we know that in today's world that images really are one of the main competitive differentiations in presentations. And templates. And so that's why we've licensed such a large library to bring to you. And then the third set of assets is around our videos. Interestingly, one of your colleagues on AppSumo, I don't know if you consider each other colleagues, but one of the other Sumolings did a really amazing 9-minute video overview of Kroma and the Kroma offer. And we were really amazed at kind of the level of detail. And so again, we're here for an hour for you all and can show you, and I'll do a quick walkthrough, but that's also a quick place to go for information that I think is really comprehensive. Kroma.ai, we're not going to need a free sample because we are on the marketing site right now, but Kroma.ai has a login page that's very simple. You just go to my Kroma.ai once your account is opened and you log in. And then when you log in, you land in kind of in our main creating area. And you can always use our search bar to go directly to what you're looking for. So let's say you're trying to represent data that is a trend, you could do data and trend and see what comes up there. But we also organize into categories, right? So we have our expert decks. What we mean when we say expert decks is they're presentations for you to use, but they're designed by experts in the area. So we have expert decks on seed funding, and we have lots of marketing expert decks and things like that. And so what we do is we go out into the field, we identify experts, we ask them what would be their ideal presentation, and then we create a template for that for you all to use. And so those templates are really powerful because they are thought out by people who have pretty extensive experience in the subject matter. We also have presentations that are data visualizations, and our data visualizations can be data-driven or not data-driven. And by data-driven, what we mean is you can actually put your own data in Excel and the data visualizations will update. So some data visualizations like charts and graphs lend themselves to be data-driven, and then others are presenting data that is more subjective or less number driven, even though it's a data, right? It's like a grouping or a trending that we're trying to show. And so we have data visualizations for that as well. And then we have individual slides. So our individual slides are things like, how do you present 3 key points, or what's a good title slide? Or sometimes you're not looking for a whole presentation, you're just looking for a component. And so we've got those. And then this last year, we launched a new category called grab and go content. And these are actually completed presentations. It's an area that we're starting to grow out more in. But let's say you have some HR policy or something, and you're looking for a presentation that already has the policy written, and you just want to modify it and make it your own. So we've got the grab and go content for that. And then, as I mentioned, the other 2 boxes down here are photos and video.
We'll just give Stephen a moment. Sounds like there's some internet issues. In a sec, he'll come right back and keep going. If not, I'll dive in.
Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. But thank you for being here, Laurelyn. And he might just have to restart quickly. Hey, Stephen, how's it going? Looks like you're muted.
Looks like I'm muted. Okay.
Yeah.
Where
Sing of the year.
It's only been a minute or 2, so just go back to where you were.
You started saying with the grab and go content and how Kroma was working hard to build that out.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, and so our grab and go content is our newest content. So once you come into any of these areas, whether you come through search or any of these top categories, you get into our presentation filtering, and there's a kind of a complex set of filterings that help you narrow down everything that's available. So you can pick either your category or filters, and the filters change based on your category. And then once you get to the presentation you're looking for, a page will load up that shows you a preview, gives you a little bit of an overview. You can download the presentation from here. And then similarly, with our stock images and stock video, you just put in any term, or you can refine your terms, and it brings up all of the images, and you have an ability to preview them and then download them. So
maybe that's worth,
yeah,
Stephen, if I may jump in. I think one of the things, as a content creator myself, one of the things that I really like about the delivery of the Kroma platform here is that when you are trying to select a video or a stock image, you can very quickly scroll through. So if you select one, Stephen, for example, just pick one of the ones there that you want to highlight, grab an image, just open it directly on. And once it's opened, and what you can see quickly is you can scroll through, and this is particularly helpful with the videos. Stephen, may I ask that you go to the videos, the stock videos?
Yeah, are you prepared? Do you mind if I pass presenter to you? I think I got kicked off, and I think I'm having a little bandwidth issue. I'm going to try and get some other stuff stopped. Will you share your screen?
Sure, let's do that here. So, okay, thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, Stephen. So one of the things, like I said, as a content creator, that's really important. You're constantly looking through images, content, all this sort of stuff. So let's get up here and let's share this up. Let's see, have I got superpowers? Yes, I do. Now I'm going to take them over. So if we're looking at videos, for example, let's come up with something. Let's look up, we've got a dull day over here in New York. We're going to look up.
Let's look at beaches for warm weather.
Beaches. Oh, I love that idea. That's great. So we'll look up the beach. We'll just try singular so it grabs everything. Let's see what we get. So doobie-doo. Well, we've got 24,378 hits on video. Let's see about beaches. Ooh, this one's already compelling. So if we go in, rather than have to figure out like, I don't know, there's a lot here. What do I want? I want a quick way to be able to go through it all. So let's just start with the first one for grins and giggles. I'm going to move these guys over here. Oh, okay. There's a bit of a video. It gives me a chance. Oh, let me go through the next one. There's another video. Okay, more ocean, more waves. Yeah, look how quickly I can go through this. Ooh, waves. That looks compelling. Tide going out. And if I want something, boom, I can just simply go up here, click, download it. It's there. And then I can go on and continue my search. none of this back and forth that you typically have to see and do with other platforms when you're trying to make your selection. That's one of my favorite things I love about the Chroma platform.
Excellent. So Lindsay, I think, we're about 10 minutes in, so we've talked a lot. Why don't we pause? We can certainly talk in a lot more detail about any aspect of the platform or the offering. I just want to kind of see where people's interest lies.
Sure. Sumo let us know what you want to hear more about. And of course, if you have any questions, if there's anything else that you want to know, go ahead and let us know. If you could tell us, did you just purchase this? Are you looking to purchase? Is there something you need to know to make up your mind? We're here to help you.
And while you're still looking for those questions, I guess two other things I'll talk about that aren't kind of related to the platform specifically. We do have a full self-help center built out, and a lot of our presentations come with help content already in it. So for example, if there's data or images and you might want to think about how to change those out, there are instructions within the presentations themselves to talk about that. And the other piece I wanted to share is we do have help support center that's open. We actually use Talk2 as a platform. It's a great platform if you're looking for a support platform. But we use Talk2 and we manage everything through tickets, and we're pretty good about grouping our expertise by people who can deal with usability issues or can deal with billing, although that's not an issue for people that are buying lifetime or other things. And we are here to help you.
So we've got some questions in. So if I may, maybe let's jump in. So the first question is in and around expert decks and grab and go content. Two-part question. One says, how many of them are currently available? So tens of thousands of expert decks. Grab and go content, still lighter on that. And one of the Sumo links in their review talked about that opportunity for us to build that out. And that's what Stephen has said. We've got experts coming in, both at an industry side and a graphics design perspective, adding that new grab and go content, because we're only in the hundreds there. With respect to adding regularly, well, second part of the question, that's kind of answered. We're doing so every week or two, adding more content.
Yeah, can I talk about really quickly talk about a new project? Because this isn't something we're necessarily marketing on the site, but I think it's really exciting. We're partnering with a design firm. In fact, they're the design firm that helped us rebrand from Slide Shop to Chroma. And so you see a little bit of the quality of their design in our website and in our interfaces. But we're partnering with them to really do a push for a whole bunch of new modern content. And right now, we're scheduled to start looking at putting somewhere between 12 and 24 decks a week starting in the next couple of weeks. So we've got some really aggressive and really exciting new content coming.
All right, we've got another question. Moving along. Daryl asks, not to sound demeaning, but is this just an offer of PowerPoint slides and a few pre-populated presentations? Stephen?
I think that's a good question, in that what is different about Chroma, I think is your question, kind of why do we talk about AI as a component of it. One of the things that we're doing in the building of our presentations is really that embedding of the expertise. And when we try and think about kind of what is the general use case of people using templates, right? They're late building a presentation, they go and they build a template, they struggle to use it, they don't understand why each component of the slides are there, right? We've really tried to bring learning and expertise to that. And so while the delivery is in PowerPoint, it is a much deeper set of insights that we're trying to deliver. We're not just trying to deliver some unusable template to you. I think the other part of that question maybe that's not asked is why in PowerPoint and not on some other platform? And it's a question that we've asked regularly and that we've done a lot of market research on. And we find that about 92% of the people that we're interfacing are still using PowerPoint on a desktop for most of their presentation needs. And without disparaging any of the large companies that have tried to build online versions of these, their adoption is low because the power that you need to create the presentation you want really does exist in a desktop application today. And we continue to monitor that and continue to ask ourselves, at what point in the future would this move to being something that would be integrated with a Google Slides or something like that, or PowerPoint online? but those applications just aren't really ready today. And the other thing we found is that people who have built online editors, where you can create a presentation, you're very limited in what you can do, because the ultimate output of that is a PDF or JPEGs, and it's not editable. And so you're really limited to the functionality of those applications. And so we've bet on PowerPoint, and we've bet on the PPTX open format that both Google Slides and Keynote support. And that's how we've gone about trying to bring expertise to the market.
And if I could just add to that, it's a little bit of tailgating, but the short answer is, it's not just PowerPoint templates. Like, we all want, like, wow, that's really cool. That's a modern design. Or I kind of like the background where I'm in a startup and it's, really interesting computer nodes or AI or bits and that. It's more than that. It's like Stephen said, when you're in that panic and you've got to deliver a sales proposal to a specific industry expert, or you've got an opportunity where you're creating content and you're trying to educate a team or a group. Maybe it's internal, maybe it's external. All of the key slides and components, it's not just the design, here it is. It's make sure you answer this question. Here's a field, fill this in so that you deliver this bit of information, because that's what people are looking at. And Stephen alluded to, and it ties to the next question, which is in and around PowerPoint or Keynote formats. And so, James, the answer is there. One of the Sumolings asked this and said, why aren't you integrated with Keynote? And so I asked that Sumoling to go to Keynote and say, why aren't you integrated with Kroma? And they said, well, we're not getting a lot of demand. We just have people in Keynote. And Stephen's kind of addressed that. And the reality is, like we said, more than 90% of our customer install base, which is extensive, wants PowerPoint. And now that PowerPoint can be fed into Google Slides, which is rapidly becoming the second choice, that's where we stick with, is PowerPoint templates.
And if you are a Keynote user, because I use Keynote some, if you are a Keynote user, Keynote can open PPTX files. And so most of our templates work well. I will be candid and tell you that those that are data-driven tend to be more challenged, because the data-driven slides depend on Excel being loaded as an underlying software. And so that breaks down when you get onto the Keynote side.
And Stephen, we've had a request to open an expert deck and to tour one. Would you like to do that, or shall I?
Sure. Let me, do you have one loaded you want to do? If not, I can pull one up right now.
I could easily load one. I was in videos, but I can jump.
You can see your eyes moving, Laura Lynn. You're on mute, actually.
Yeah, I've got 50 tabs open. So do you want me to just open a deck?
That would be great. Yeah, I've got one if you can't, but
Okay.
my bandwidth is not great here. So.
All right, let's get back to this and let's share the screen here. Let's get into Chroma. Okay, Sumolings, here we go again. And it's just always like where these people are in the way. Okay, let's get this up out of the way and go into presentations and into expert decks. So one of the things that I like to do, so here we're greeted when we're not blocked. Again, Stephen showed at the beginning of the presentation, all kinds of ways that you want to be able to filter it. Obviously, I've had the luxury of being able to pre-filter it. So I go into my bookmarks and I use it heavily. Within my bookmarks, I have the opportunity to go and see everything that I've saved. Now, let's say here's an expert deck on event marketing. Let's pull it up. All right. So one of the nice things, again, that Chroma has worked on is making that display of information quite easy so that you can get a pretty quick view without going in, out, looking one slide at a time. So let's take a look here. We get a good view at the bottom. We can see, well, we don't have that in the way. We can see here some little bit about data visualizations. We've got some information about, well, how to use different templates. We've got, for an event marketing, of course, you want to know who you are and what you're doing, the About Us group, pros and cons as far as contracting your group versus a competitor. A little bit more information again about why you, right? What's coming up, how things are going. And it gives you a little sense of, excuse me, everything that's going on that you're going to need to be able to stand out and say, this is why we want you to hire us. Here's the final thing. And you've got this nice, quick magnifying glass on here so that you get a quick look to see what's there. And you can see from the content, again, okay, it's the, lorem ipsum, but it tells you, put the numbers in, talk about the differences and how you compare to your competitors. That's what people are really interested. If you like it, boom, download it and you're good to go.
Thank you for all of that. Sumo Langs, do you have any more questions? We've gotten through all of these, so if anybody else wants to know anything, we'd love to demo some more for you. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of some of this. I really appreciate y'all being here. Is there anything that y'all are really looking forward to? I know Sumo Langs love roadmaps. Is there anything that y'all are looking forward to in the future that they can look forward to too?
Stephen, mute.
So I'll be more excited if I'm off mute. I said I'm really excited about the work we're doing to create a whole new set of content, the roadmap that we've got for the next 9 months, kind of the rest of 2021. And one of the things that we're doing that I think is very unique in this area is we're going to make all of the decks and templates that we build with the expertise available in many different forms. So one of the things that kind of companies like ours have done historically that I think is tough for people is, okay, you've thought through and built out a really good deck that shows us how to do a pitch for seed funding, for example, and we want that, but it doesn't look like who we are. It doesn't fit our industry. And so we've been working to build out kind of moods and themes and color combinations that are all interchangeable, and will create a set of content that is really powerful and comes much more customized to what you're trying to do. I mean, you can always change out the photos. We always use color templates. You can always change the color palettes. You can apply your own, right? All these things. But a lot of people, are trying to do these things quicker and looking to people like us to help them to do that. So.
Awesome, thank you. We've got a couple questions that have come in. James says, could you show us the app a little bit more? Thanks. There's nothing specific there, but is there anything else that you want to go ahead and show us real quick while we have you? Somebody else asked, and maybe this is something that you can show us. Can you blend or fuse presentations from different categories to create a custom presentation? Or is there a way to automatically do this? Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of showing, I think maybe one of the things that I would show, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Let's do that. Maybe one of the things that would be useful would be to kind of show a bit more how content can be filtered, right? So the main thing, the real key for us, right, is getting you to the right sort of information or the right piece of content quickly, right? So let's say that we were trying to figure out how to present data. So I go to data visualizations, and let's say that I needed to show a pattern, right, or a process or a concept, right? There are these filter sorts of things, or a dashboard, for example. If I want to show a dashboard, I can click on and see what dashboards are already built for me and available for me to use. And likewise, if I have data that's in Excel and I want to display that data, I can even filter by visualizations that have been built off of Excel, right? And so they're very easy to edit, just putting your data from your place to Excel. The only other part of the application that I would potentially show you is the My Account area. And so we do have a full My Account. You can come in and manage your membership, your bookmarked products, Subscriptions aren't relevant to Sumo Links because it's a lifetime offer. Most of our customers come in through subscription, so they can manage their subscriptions. And then we have some customers that buy Kroma for teams, right? So they want to have a group of people working together, and so you can manage your team name and your team licensing and all of that under this section as well. And then we do have a help center, a customer support center, where we're routinely looking at questions coming into us and building this out based on kind of the information and requests that we get.
And to answer that,
is there anything else that you would have me show that I'm not?
well, I think just as I'm speaking, maybe you could just do a bit of touring, just kind of, showing what's there, more presentations, just kind of giving it users to scroll through. And again, that other Sumo Link did a wonderful 9-minute video on YouTube detailing just about everything that's in there. So you'll want to look that up. And he gave it 5 tacos. Where I wanted to go with this is addressing that specific question. You can download any of these templates. They might be a data visualization, single slide piece, or whatever, and then you can string them together as you like. And because they're designed to not only be aesthetically put together, but you can go in. And so if you've got a lot of words and you're trying to stick a lot of words into a little field, it automatically knows, boom, shrink it, size it, space it, and do everything properly. So it figures all of that out for you. And then, of course, because you're going into the template the way that they've been constructed, says, oh, do you want to change this color to this color, this one to that one? Great, easy, done, and you've made it your own. Add your logo, pack it up, and you've created your custom deck by picking and choosing all of the key components, maybe dashboards, maybe some of the data visualization pieces, cool graphs or whatnot that you wanted to put together the way that you want to.
Amazing. Thank you so much again. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Stephen and Laurelyn, and all of you Sumolings who have joined us today. If you have not already, you can go to appsumo.com/Kroma to redeem your codes starting at $59 for a lifetime deal. Of course, this is backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So go ahead, get set up, play around with it, see how it works for you. Once you've done that, we love to read your reviews on the deal page. And of course, you can leave any questions that you have there as well. Thank you all so much. This has been a blast and pleasure having you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.